sorry. But yeah.
Oh, you actually put this Ghostbusters World thing in there. I didn't notice. I was gonna post it, but I don't know if we have anything to say about it.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. I probably won't play it, but it's neat that there's a Ghostbusters game that's like that.
Yeah. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I was already feeling kind of down and like not really in the mood to do anything, and then friggin' Ben's audio for the news section on Wednesday crashed. Like his computer crashed and lost the audio.
Oh no.
He was like trying to export it, and so when he went to recover, there was nothing there because it was like right at the end of the export. It wasn't just like it failed during the call or whatever.
Huh.
So it was just gone. So we just didn't have news, which was annoying because we did it. Like, it's fine if something doesn't work and we can't do a show or whatever, but when we do it, it's like, man, I like put the effort into actually making that happen. Like, that took a lot of work because I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. That's why I say try to stream it, but like you've had problems trying to stream it, so
Yeah.
Like if anything ever happens, I always have the main file for a backup. Like it's not ideal, but it's better than losing it.
Yeah, that was the problem. Is like usually I record because I haven't been streaming just because it never works. But I've been trying to record the screen, like the news screen.
Yeah.
Just so I can like put up a video of it or whatever. And I've been doing that, and then it's been crashing because of OBS. Like my computer blue screens and restarts, and I'm like, well, lost the video, but the Audacity picks back up, whatever, not a big deal. So this was the 1 week I didn't bother with OBS because I was like, that's too much work. It's gonna crash my computer, whatever. And then we lose the audio.
That's crazy.
So like, I could have probably had it if we had the OBS backup.
Yeah.
So you never know.
That sucks.
But yeah, I'm right there with you. It's cool.
Yeah.
We'll keep it short. Well, go ahead and start recording. Oh, I think it might be this monitor that makes it super red. Because it didn't look that bad, and then I switched monitors, and now it's like really magenta.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know why that's different though.
Freaking technology, right?
What? Like, I don't understand. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay. Publish now. And then okay, so that's up. I'm recording. My audio's going.
Me too.
Okay, cool. Got my notes. I actually have notes for games I played, which is weird. First time. Okay. Are you just staring at me?
No, I'm just looking forward.
Oh, okay.
This is what my camera is. I was actually reading a tweet. So
okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around and talk about the shit that's going on in their lives and the things they've been playing. This week, we got a full cast here of Justin.
Hello everybody, Low here with the lowdown. No, it's me. I can't pull that off. I don't sound like him. No one can sound that beautiful.
Give us your best Ben impression.
I hate everything.
Okay, there we go. The full cast is here.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Also, just yell about WWE for a while.
I don't know how to do that.
I'll take care of that.
Okay, cool. Full cast, woohoo!
Yeah, it's just me and Justin today. Lo got swept away by his girlfriend to go on some love resort.
Beyonce,
yes.
He got swept away by Beyonce.
Yeah. I do. I was deciding if I was gonna say this or not, but I've got a date this weekend too.
Ooh.
Yeah. She actually grew up near where I lived, so that's like kind of neat.
Well, that's cool. Gives you something to bond over.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember that library? Remember that Catholic church with the bars on it? Yeah, okay.
Anyway, you like wrestling?
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
just saying, it gets the small talk out of the way. There's something there.
exactly.
I mean, the first thing I said to Brooke was that she looked like Summer Glau from Firefly, and then I found out that she also loved Firefly, and so we started talking about that. Like, it's whatever works, you know?
Nice. Yeah, like we like basically our Plenty of Fish messages have just been like talking about what it was like growing up there. I'm holding out hope because the last one just ghosted me. Like I showed up and she didn't, and then I never heard from her again. So that's great.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't like to, have dates or whatever, like meet to like pick someone up at their house or anything. And I get that because that's really shady when you're first meeting someone. But it also sucks to like go somewhere, wait, and not know what's happening. Whereas like if you just go to their house or if you say, hey, pick me up, like you know what's going on. So there's no good way to have it, but I hope it works out this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like an idiot because I think about what other people are thinking a lot. I have other like, I always think about that. So I'm like, oh, so everyone's like looking at me. It's like I'm thinking, oh, this guy's an idiot, just sitting around here for 30 minutes, and then he leaves.
You just got to bring your Switch or something, and then if she doesn't show up, you're just the guy sitting there, playing his Switch and eating. Like,
yeah. This place we're going to is a wings bar, so that's pretty neat. Like I'll have the wings at least.
Yeah,
I think I've
that
had
sounds super good actually.
Yeah, I've had wings like 3 or 4 times this week alone, like in the past couple days.
So how's that diet going?
It's good. It's protein, high protein.
Yeah.
The diet's actually pretty good.
I can't say anything. We had Jack in the Box tonight.
Yeah. The diet's been pretty good. Down to 325. I've bought 3 new pairs of pants.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got a pair of 44s that I haven't been a 44 in a long time. So I'm able to just barely fit them now. So I assume like in a few weeks I'll be able to fit them.
Yeah, you gotta have like goal pants.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a bunch up in the top of my closet that still don't fit, and most of my pants now also don't fit. So I think I need better goals.
It's kind of weird. Like I haven't bought pants in a very long time because I usually just wear mine out until they break. But they have like this weird like stretchy thing in the middle, like the stretchy waist for jeans.
That's the best.
And that's so crazy. Like I'm like it feels super comfortable. And my old jeans made me look super fat with like tree trunk legs, and these look really nice on me. So
yeah, my work pants are like that, and I literally wear them every day because it's just like soup. Like they just snug. Like they have a little bit of stretch to them, make my butt look good. Like it's it's all good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on in my life. That video games. But you want to tell people what you've been up to?
Mostly a little bit of gaming. We've actually got a few houses to look at this weekend because next weekend we're not going to be around for. Well, I mean, I'll be around, but like I'll be on the show and everything. Yeah. Probably. But it's True False weekend. I talked about it last year. Mm-hmm. And so like we're not doing passes or anything because there wasn't a lot worth seeing that we could see with the passes. But we're still gonna just go downtown and try to queue into some stuff over the weekend, and then have like an Oscars watch party at my brother's house. So like we're not available to go down to look at houses, like leave town to go look at houses. Mm-hmm. So this weekend we're looking at a bunch. I think like 6 total are on the list right now for Sunday. So I've spent some of the week planning all that out, getting the appointments set up and stuff. But aside from that, it's been mostly last weekend I beat Final Fantasy 15. I won't spend another 20 minutes talking about that, but it doesn't have the best ending. I was actually really into the linear parts where it like kind of started to tell more of the story and like give you some character development and stuff. And then it had a cool like battle before the final battle. And then the final battle is kind of like a Dragon Ball Z action scene between Noctis and Arden. And I was just kind of like, this is how the game ends? Like, this isn't a fight. This is a cutscene, a playable cutscene. I wasn't even sure if I could even lose, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'd lost during that battle once. But yeah, it's not the greatest. It felt more like I'm mashing. Like, this should be cool. Like, 2 dudes, like, throwing down at the end of it all. And, like... Yeah. The final...
But I think the main part was just, like, you spend the whole game building this team up.
Yeah.
And then like there's a a bit of a twist. I won't spoil it for everyone because I know a lot of people are waiting for the PC version or whatever. But there is kind of a like an in-game twist. And then like you get the whole party back together again, have some in-game stuff that again that kind of like pre-final battle, which is really cool and very cinematic and everything in the way that a final battle should be. And then you just have the actual final battle where it's like, nah, dudes, I got this, and you just leave them behind. And it's like, what's the point of building them all up if I'm just going to leave them behind and not have them in the final battle? It just felt weird.
Yeah.
And then the actual end game is just kind of like, it's not entirely clear what happens. Like it's implied what happens, but like I could very well see some DLC that takes place after the game where like everything's fine again. And so I felt like it was just kind of rushed a little bit to try and create an emotional connection that didn't work. But I enjoyed beating the game. I'm glad I beat it. Like it was really fun. I kind of wish there was more in that in-game section. Because it almost like, again, without spoiling it, almost kind of felt like the end of Final Fantasy VI, where it's like you can go straight to the end, or you can spend like hours, running around doing like side quests and stuff that give you more story. Except it didn't seem like there was any of that side story stuff. Pretty much your only option was to go to the end, unless I missed something. So that felt like kind of a wasted opportunity. And apparently that's where the multiplayer takes place.
Oh, okay.
Like that area is where the multiplayer is. So I guess maybe there's something there, but everyone says the multiplayer sucks. So I don't necessarily want to run around in that world and multiplayer. I'd rather have my dudes and go around and do stuff. So yeah, kind of weird. But overall satisfying. Like I said, I'm happy with like the 40+ hours I spent in that game. And then because apparently I'm just in a Final Fantasy mood, I got Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, remaster or whatever. I had some Amazon credit and stuff like that, so I just, I went ahead and got it. But that's a really pretty remaster. Like it's still very much a PS2 game, but it has kind of a similar like graphical filter over it, like the Final Fantasy 9 port for PC had, where it's kind of like a painterly like effect over everything, and there's also just a lot more detail to the sprites and everything. Some of the faces look a little weird. Like they added more detail, but then also added that like painterly filter. So there's like some like really thick shadows around the chins and things like that are kind of jarring. Like Vaughn especially looks weird around the lips and chin.
Yeah. Balthazar looked really odd. Like you can really tell that it's a PS2 game with all the faces.
Yeah. But like again, it looks good, and I think the PC version is definitely the best looking one. Like I went through and messed with the graphical settings and things like that. I love that it's 60 frames a second. That's really nice. But again, I'm enjoying that game. Arguably more than I did on PS2. It's still not really my style. Like I get it more now, like where you run in and it's supposed to just kind of like push you through all of the little bitty battles and things, and then you actually can like spend more time like tactically thinking through boss battles. But for the most part, like if you just want to run around and grind for the license board, they make that a quick in and out type thing, and I like that. It doesn't do a screen wipe for every single little battle where you just do one hit, kill them, and then experience screen and back out, and like it all moves a lot quicker than other games do,
especially since you could play it in like 3x, right?
Yeah, well, it's 2x or 4x. You choose
4x.
which one in the menu, and then it just like you hit a button and it automatically does the 2x or 4x, whichever one you chose.
Yeah.
I just do 2x because I've heard 4x can cause like crashing issues.
Oh, really?
It's like faster than the game can process.
That's not good.
It's like it doesn't always, but I think like with certain systems, I'm like, I'll just do 2x. It's fine. But I'm still not a huge fan of some of the mechanics in it. Like the big change in this was that they changed it so the license board is more of like a job system where you have 12 options, the Zodiac essentially. And each character you choose the license board you want them to start with, but you can't change it once you pick it. And actually I put a post on Reddit like, did anyone else get like major anxiety from making those decisions that are permanent? Because you don't really get a good idea of like what each job is in the license board. Because you kind of have to go across the whole thing and like it includes like equipment and like gambit slots and HP and everything on top of your abilities. So I wish it was just like a quick view of each different job that kind of gives you a general overview of the abilities you'd learn with that. Because really all it gives you is your weapon proficiencies. And then you have to actually go around the whole board to see everything else. So I spend a lot of time with that. And also figuring out which direction to go, since it's kind of like just an open slate. It's not like the sphere grid or anything where you kind of have to go down certain paths. So that's a little overwhelming. And I spend a lot more time like in menu management than I would in any other game. But again, that's made up for by how little time you spend in battle. So overall, I feel like you're probably spending about the same amount of time and like things you don't necessarily want to spend time doing. But in this game, it's menu management instead of slow battles. But I tried to go a little bit of against type because I feel like the game does kind of push you towards certain jobs for these guys. Like Vaughn starts with a dagger, and like I made him a time battle mage because I kind of wanted my main character to have some magic and stuff, like be able to, you know, change the tides of battle. But his weapon proficiency is crossbows, and you don't unlock crossbows in the merchant until a good few hours into the game. So he basically starts out the game which is like the default dagger, can't get any other weapons because he's the only things he's proficient in is crossbows, until you finally find a merchant that sells the basic crossbow. And so there's things like that that are just like weird from a gameplay standpoint, like a flow standpoint, because if you don't pick the thing that they already have their equipment and stuff signed up for, you kind of are put at a disadvantage until you come across the things they can use. And like, for example, when you get Fran, like when she joins your team, she already has like cure and a few other things. So if you don't make her a mage, then it's just like you don't get to use those abilities she already has in her care. And it's just like, why are these weird decisions they made? Like I made her a red mage because I was like, I don't want just a generic white mage. There's enough healing items and stuff in this game. I want something a little more versatile. I'm not going to do any white mages. So I figured red mage, she can still use her cure, but also has some other abilities. And then like Balthier, like I only know him as a gun wielder. So I'm like, whatever, you can be your machinist. That's your default anyway. I don't care. But yeah, there's 12 different classes, and I feel like most of them aren't going to get used. And on my Reddit post, there's some people saying that like there's a point in the game where you can choose a second job.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of waiting for that because maybe it won't feel as stressful because it's like whatever I picked this time isn't necessarily damning me because I can like pick the default or, you know, like something that, you know, supplements that class better with the second one. But again, they don't make that clear. So it's like they added this whole system back into this version that was in the Japanese and then cut for the American, but they don't really like lead you into it very well. Even in the tutorials and stuff, it doesn't really give you a good idea of how that stuff works. So that's a little disappointing, but I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the story elements. It flows really nicely. It's just some of the systems are kind of confusing. But that's most of what I've been playing this week is Final Fantasy 12 since I beat 15. Haven't had a lot of time for anything else. But yeah.
All right. So I finally finished off Owlboy. I was on the last stage at the time when I took my little break, but I ended up watching Coco and playing Owlboy at the same time. And
well, that's a mistake.
Tell me about it. Man, like they're both very very emotional, impactful games. Especially at the end, Jonathan Gear's music in Owlboy is fantastic. I'll probably look out for the soundtrack for that. I don't know. I guess I won't spoil the game, but it's a very emotional, impactful ending. Kind of like you kind of go into a weird, different dimension. I think. I won't say what it is, but
yeah, I'll still get through that game eventually. I'm at the beginning, but it's on my list.
Yeah, it's. Like I said, I was like you when I was earlier on. I wasn't really feeling it, but once I got the hang of like how the game actually played, and when you could switch between different party members and stuff, that's when I actually got more into it.
Well, I really just wasn't feeling it because I mean, I still don't like the system. We have to like pick people up to do stuff with them, but I really wasn't feeling it because I didn't know how the aiming system worked, and I thought it was just like directional and not 360. And I was like, this is stupid. I keep dying. Once I figured that out, I was on board.
Yeah, like, yeah, it was pretty fun for me because I play dual stick shooters, so. But yeah, Owlboy ending was really good. Surprised where they went with that.
My goal this year is to beat more games because I realized that like I don't have a lot of money to just like buy every new game that's out there. Yeah. So like every game that I get, I want to beat, or at least like put substantial hours into. So I appreciate every game I play more.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm probably gonna do more of that too.
Yeah, it probably means I won't have as many things to talk about on the podcast, but at least like it'll be more substantial.
It'll be more depth instead of width. Yeah.
Right.
Another game I actually picked up a new game this past week. It was Assassin's Creed Origins. It took me a while to finally get that purchase to go through. I don't know why Humble Bundle like stopped my purchase for a couple days. It was weird. It was really weird. I guess they don't like Canadians buying American games, or because they don't have a Canadian site.
It's Egyptian.
Ha ha ha.
The jokes are appreciated on this stupid podcast.
So yeah, I finally got in there. It's such a weird departure from an Assassin's Creed game. Like I'm so used to holding down the right trigger to sprint everywhere, and now that's not in the game. Like you just walk to sprint, so it doesn't feel like it plays like an Assassin's Creed game.
I've heard that from a lot of places.
Yeah, but it does feel like a good game. The stealth is pretty similar. Like you just crouch and you go into the bushes and wait for people to stand by. You can whistle, people come over, you knock them out. It's got a drone, the bird, Sinew. I've been playing Ubisoft games for this past couple of weeks, so like the bird feels like the drone. Where
they ripped that straight out of Watch Dogs too.
Yeah. Yeah, so the bird's the drone. Use that to look out. I haven't played too much. It's a really beautiful game. I can't play it on Ultra. If I do, like I actually do get frame dips, and I have like an i7 400K and a 1070 graphics card. So if I'm chugging, I can't imagine a lot of other people are having a good time on their PCs.
Maybe I will just get it on PS4 then.
Yeah, I had to drop it down to high, so like even very high was too high.
Fun fact, real not to interrupt, but I just remembered this. I was actually debating between getting Horizon or Final Fantasy 12 because I knew I was going to get 12 on PC just because I heard it was the best version and I figured why not. But Horizon obviously you have to get on PS4. And after beating Final Fantasy 15 and hearing how loud my PS4 was from across the room, I was like, I'm not entirely sure, like if I buy a new game for PS4, that it will work. Like I'm really afraid that my PS4 is just gonna die the next time I try to like push it too hard. So I figured I'll just stick with PC for right now.
Yeah, I'm actually whenever I play Monster Hunter, I can hear my PlayStation 4 just like spin up and go insanely loud. I probably need to find a better place to put it. It's behind my monitors, so there's probably a lot of heat back there.
Mine's pretty out in the open. It's just really loud. I think it's probably got cat hair in it, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get a Pro. Like, if my PS4 dies, I guess I won't have a PS4. Oh. Or I'll, like, buy a used one cheap or something. I'm not going to pay $500 for a new system I don't use that much.
Yeah, true.
So I'm just kind of waiting it out. Like, I'll play through what I have now and then maybe get something new when it goes cheap enough that I don't care if it kills my PS4.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to find a better place to put my PS4 because I feel like I'm pushing it way too hard. Yeah, so playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed, I like the character. He seems pretty cool. It's kind of like just a revenge story. I found his house, found like his dead kid toy, and he lamented over that. I need to play more of it. There's nothing really in there so far as like the meta narrative of the world outside. So like people who don't like that part of Assassin's Creed rejoice because I haven't seen any of it yet. Which like I do like that part. I think it's interesting. Like I used to read those kind of novels of like like religious, like not conspiracy theories, but like fiction novels, like the Da Vinci Code, and there was like the Last Templar. That one was really good. But yeah, like there's none of that aspect in this so far.
Isn't there some of that like in the modern day stuff, like just logs that you can read through, but you don't have to?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't seen any of it, so it's not there.
I'm just going off what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that there's like very little of it, so I'm not really expecting much. They do have a new mode that it's out now. It's on it's on PC version at least. That it's like a tour mode, so discovery tours. This is dipping a little bit into news, but they released this new discovery mode, so you could just like go around Egypt. The developers worked in tandem with historians and other historical experts. Here they say Egyptologists. Is that a word?
I guess so.
And so like I actually I saw like an article or heard about it on a podcast that there's no nudity. Like they covered up all the statues that were actually in Egypt with like clamshells and stuff. And so it's I guess they did this for like kids. They're gonna like dole this out to kids later so that they learn about Egypt. But it seems kind of sad to me that they're like just kind of defacing fake statues. It's like, no, you can't see boobs, you can't see a dick.
Right. Just wait until the Pompeii DLC, am I right?
Oh man.
My jokes aren't appreciated.
That one I didn't even understand. Was Pompeii in Egypt? Like I thought that was a
no
thing.
It's totally unrelated to Egypt. I was you were talking about defacing like nudity and stuff, and Pompeii, like when Vesuvius erupted, like the people still explore the remains of Pompeii, and there's just like statues and like drawings and stuff like all over the place of dicks.
Oh really?
There's a very like sexual culture.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, you know, it's all in ruins now, but like you can still clearly see a lot of that stuff.
Wait, is the graffiti of dicks made by not tourists, but by like the people that were there?
I think people have probably added more.
Okay.
But no, it was part of the culture.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dick
You're
drawing.
a history guy, so I thought you knew that.
I studied World War II and World War One. I didn't study ancient. But yeah, that's cool. I should go.
Brooke really likes Pompeii because she's a big fan of dicks. I don't know how else to say that.
I can say something really mean, but I'm not going to. I'm changing up my attitude.
Because I'm a dick? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Cheap joke. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I'm trying to be nicer now. I don't want to do. Yeah, moving on. I'm also playing Wildlands with my dad still, but I'm kind of getting over the actual progression system in that game. It feels very limited. All there really is in that game so far is you kind of just go to points of interest and you either interrogate someone or you read something, and it pops up the other points that are on the map, so like gun upgrades and skill points, stuff like that. But I find like none of the gun upgrades are better than what I have already, so that kind of ruins the fact that I should go out and collect guns. The skill points, I kind of like I feel like I'm skilled enough to actually do story missions. I'm doing story missions, but they feel kind of just the same. But I'm just gonna play this game more because this is like there's a lot of it. Playing it with my dad, it still feels good to snipe dudes and take out convoys and stuff with my dad. But yeah,
it's always fun to have that bonding game.
Yeah, it just feels very limited in what it is right now.
Yeah.
See, that's all I've been playing. Yeah.
I thought as a possible topic, we'd been talking on the Discord about like timed events and things like that in games and how dumb they are.
That's stupid.
And so I kind of wanted to spend some time on that just because I think it's a good point of discussion.
Just
like when when I was going through or back into Final Fantasy 15, I checked the store for all the DLC stuff because apparently it didn't auto download even though I had the season pass or whatever with the day one edition. And so I downloaded the episodes, and then there was a few like exclusive or not exclusive, but like free downloadable outfits and things like that. So I was like, I'll check these out except for the stupid cup noodle head. And then I saw that there was a few things for the Assassin's Creed event, or like a few they were like festivals that you had to download essentially. And on the store page, it said like available through January 5th, I think it was. But they were still on there. So I downloaded them thinking like, oh, maybe, it'll just like auto complete them and I'll get whatever was part of the festival because it's after that time. And I don't actually know if I got anything from them, but it's just weird that they were still on the store when those things had passed. You'd think they would just like delete them entirely and pretend that never happened. Because like I booted up the game and it said something like, take part in the Chocobo Festival from like December whatever through like January whatever, and like I booted this up in February, so it's like why is the game telling me about this thing in the past?
Yeah.
And you had mentioned about the Monster Hunter, like the Horizon exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Like when the game launched, and like what was all that about?
So the Monster Hunter thing is that They have on the box, I didn't buy the box, but I seen the box art, was that there's exclusive Horizon content in the game. And I think it's already expired. It's been like maybe a month, maybe not even. But the whole thing with that is that you could go out on these quests and get you can get armor for your palico that makes it look like a watcher. It's like one of those dinosaur animals. But that was like a limited time, and it was for like a high, I don't know what rank it was, but it was higher than what I was. I think it was like maybe rank 6 or 5. I was like rank 4 at the time.
I mean, wasn't it like something that would take a bit after like a bit of time to get to?
Yeah. Basically. Like you would have to be a Monster Hunter fan to like play constantly to get up there that high within the first couple weeks. And me, a guy of leisure, I just play a couple hours every night, but I wasn't able to get there, and I kind of missed out on the Palico stuff, and I'm kind of pissed about that because I would have really liked to have that armor for my Palico.
Yeah. And all these things seem kind of, especially that one, because it's like it's progression based, where it's like it was right after the game launched and lasted for what, like less than a month.
Yeah.
And it was locked behind like a certain amount of progress that you have to make. When really like that amount, like that's not really achievable for the average player. So they're basically saying like, if you don't play this game a bunch, you're going to lose out on this content we've advertised in the pre-release as a crossover event. And that seems kind of shady, or just crappy in general. And then like with the Final Fantasy thing, it's like they had this whole thing, like we talked about it on the show, of Assassin's Creed crossover, and like that's a little different because it was just you boot up the game between this time, you go to the festival and do it. But still, it's like anyone that gets the game later, like now they're re-releasing the game as the Royal Edition with all the DLC and stuff included. Are those costumes going to be included? Like, was that only during that time? Because then people that have bought the full game now won't have stuff that the people who just happen to play during that period will have, and there's not going to be any way to get it. And it's just like, for completionists, that would be really annoying. And also just like as a casual player who doesn't, like I tend to not stick with games long term. Like even with Zelda, I was super into it for, a month or two. I went through as much as I wanted, beat it, and then moved on to the next thing. By the time the DLC came out, I was kind of done with it. And, people that play like that, like they're missing out on that stuff. And it's just kind of like, it doesn't feel very good fan service. Pokemon has been doing this for a long time too. Like their the timed events where it's like you log into the game during whatever time and like it gives you a mystery gift of like a legendary Pokemon or something with like a specific item attached that you have to use to like evolve something. And like if you don't get that mystery gift with that Pokemon, then like you'll never be able to evolve the you know, Pokemon that needs that item to evolve in a trade. And it's like all of this stuff that really only like a fraction of the people that play will be able to get, especially when you think about kids who, you know, just get games whenever their parents buy them for them. They don't necessarily know about all this stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it all rubs me wrong when places do things like that. I get why they do it, because they want you to keep playing their game. But if it's not an MMO, like where, you know, its whole infrastructure is built around like playing month to month to month, like over a long period of time because of subscriptions and microtransactions and stuff. If it's just a normal single player, quote unquote, because no game is really single player anymore, game, it's not really a games as service. This is just like free timed content. It's like, why lock it away like that? Like, have it be available. Like, after that time is over, either, you know, cycle it out and have it be available again another time, or just give it to everyone.
Yeah, I don't have as big an issue with that, because it's something to rally their community behind, people that do play the game constantly. And it gives them new content to enjoy instead of just rerunning the same stuff over and over. It's kind of like Destiny is like an extreme example, because that's trying to be an MMO, but also not trying to be an MMO. It's confused about its state of game.
Mm-hmm.
They're just working through their college years trying to figure it out. But stuff like Hitman a couple years ago, that had like a weekly or monthly exclusive targets. So like once a week you'd have to log in and play the exclusive target. It gives you something to play.
That's true. I forgot about those.
Yeah, it gives you something to play like once you're done the core content of the game. But
didn't they cycle back out like after the season was over?
Yeah, they did. They brought it back for a few weeks. Like, I haven't logged back in because I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go every once in a while, be like, yeah, I want to play some Hitman. Oh, there's a new thing. I'll play that. But for stuff like launching, like, and giving you 2 weeks to like do a thing, it's kind of shitty.
Right. And that's also like there's, you know, equipment involved there. If it's just an event where it's like, hey, do this thing, it's fun, you know, get some experience or prestige or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Like 2x weekends in a lot of shooter games. Like, that's fine. That's just an event that helps you grow your character, but it's not like an exclusive content thing that you can't get any other time.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Monster Hunter does cycle back some of that stuff, because they do often, I've heard from the community anyways, that they often have new content and monsters and stuff that come like every few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, I boot up Monster Hunter and there's like, hey, you got these packs. I'm like, great. I don't know where they are. Like, it could be that game needs to be a little bit more what's the word for it? Transparent about how to actually claim your content.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's shitty. I don't think they should do it right away. They should give you a couple weeks to at least level up and play the game before they start doing that stuff.
Right. Or if they do things like that, for one, like I said, it should be cycled out. Like, you know, let's say every 2 weeks that event happens again. Or it shouldn't be heavily advertised in the promotional materials for the game.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Like, hey, get this, you know, exclusive crossover item in the game. Like, some things do that with like day one editions of games, where it's like, you know, you get an exclusive theme or whatever the case is, like if you get the day one edition. And I mean, pre-order bonuses and all that stuff is an entirely different discussion. I think it still sucks that there's, you know, pre-order content locked away only for pre-order editions. But a lot of times that stuff is also put up on the store as like a individual purchase. It's just you get it free with the day one edition.
Yeah, it's usually like throwaway stuff too, like just like a theme for your PlayStation 4 or something.
Right, or a skin.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I actually think, like you mentioned Destiny 2, and this is probably blasphemy, but I actually think they do that kind of thing right. Like the timed content. Because if you think about like things like strikes and the raids and stuff like that, those, you know, you never necessarily know which one you're going to get any given day. And it's like you have to, you know, do it, complete it, and then like that's all you can do for that day or week or whatever the case is, until it, you know, refreshes. But like there's always something there. And it's never like exclusive stuff. It's just like this week you can do this raid. and then the next week it'll be a different one, and that kind of thing.
What's your take on like maybe like game modes? Because they had it, they had the 2v2 during Valentine's Day, and now that's probably gone. And they also had the Mayhem game mode. This is PvP stuff, by the way. During the holidays, and now the Mayhem mode's gone. Like,
was that like laser tag mode?
No, that was a broken weapon. The Mayhem mode was like you would get your abilities to charge super fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think holiday themed things like that are okay, because again, you're not getting exclusive stuff from them. It's really just like something to look forward to at that holiday.
Yeah, but it's like actual like game mode. Like, say I don't want to play 4v4, I want to play the Mayhem mode now. It's like, well, too bad it's not Christmas. Like, you have to wait a whole year to play that again.
It's a holiday treat. You don't get pumpkin pie all year round. That's what makes it special.
Yeah.
But at least that's something that comes back around. It's not like if you don't get it in this 2-week window, sorry, I guess you don't care about the game as much as these people did. Care about our game more. It's like, it sounds so juvenile, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think of that when people complain about Splatoon, because like, they cycle out the maps, or like they only allow like salmon run at certain times of day, things like that. And people were like, why can't I just choose it all whenever I want? Sure, you should be able to. Like, I agree with that. But again, it's a cycle. It's not like if you don't do salmon run, during this 2-week period, you could never do salmon run.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
The cycle for Splatoon 2, like, that really soured me on that game. Like, I honestly kind of hate Splatoon 2 because of that cycle. Like, I feel like I wasted my money on that game when I got it.
I think if it was like a half-hour cycle, it'd be different, because most games last 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. So
if you're just doing 1 or 2 games in that time and then it cycles, that would be fine. But a few hours is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But again, that's different because like they don't really expect you to just like play over and over again on the same maps. They expect you to jump in, do some stuff, maybe go do something else, come back. It's like it's a growing thing. It's that games as service idea of there's always new content for you. It's not we're locking this away and you'll never be able to get it again.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I noticed when I heard that there was a Final Fantasy IX dynamic theme for PS4. I was like, oh, cool, I want to get that because I've got the Final Fantasy VII one up now when I got that game. And I like it. The music is good and all, but I love Final Fantasy IX way more than 7. So I was like, I would rather have that theme. I went to find it on the store and it didn't exist. Like, you only get it. It's bundled with the game. So it's like you can pay $20 for Final Fantasy IX and get a free quote unquote dynamic theme with it and some avatars. Well, you can't just buy those things on the store.
That's silly.
And that kind of thing rolls in that with me. It's like, if you don't do this one thing, you can't get the thing you want. And that always just seems stupid to me, because people, if you just put that Palico, like that Watcher armor, on the store after that event was over, people would buy it.
Sure.
If you put this Final Fantasy IX theme on the store outside of the game, people would buy it. I would pay $2 for that theme. I love Final Fantasy IX. I'm not going to pay $20 for the game I already own on PC just to get the theme.
Yeah.
So they could get my $2. They could get a lot of people's $2 that wouldn't necessarily spend 20. Or they can get a few people that might pay 20 just for the theme and never touch the game, but have, much less people that just want the theme buy the game.
Yeah.
And that always just, it sounds weird to me. Like, it's the same issue I had with loot boxes and stuff, where it's like, why not just put those things on the store, for more than a loot box would cost, but you know exactly what you're getting, instead of buying like three to 5 loot boxes to get whatever you want. I get why they do it, because they want you to spend more money. But I feel like they would get a lot more people that would participate in that. Just like with, I think Monster Hunter actually does that, right? Like, you can get different skins and things on the store, just piecemeal.
Yeah, I think they have the Ryu costume right now.
Yeah. Whereas like in a lot of games, you would just like buy, a Monster Hunter loot box, and it's like, you have this odds of getting the Ryu costume. I wouldn't even mess with that. What if I can just go on the store and buy Ryu? Like, cool, fine, I'll do that.
Speaking of loot boxes, in Wildlands, you get 2 free loot boxes, And the one that I got, one of the loot boxes I got was probably my favorite weapon in the game. And it's just like a sniper rifle that doesn't require bolt action. Because the only other sniper rifle that I have right now is one that requires you to do the bolt. So this one's like semi-automatic. You can just keep shooting.
Is that what... They lock like actual powerful weapons in loot boxes?
It's like rare weapons, I guess. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's really bad. Like it was.
Sorry,
it's a unique
this was
weapon.
supposed to be a discussion about loot boxes. I know we talk about those all the time.
I know. I just wanted to mention it because I'm playing the game. But yeah,
yeah,
like, it's a really powerful weapon. Like it's a Dragunov. It's like a Soviet Russia flag wrapped around the weapon. It's pretty sweet. But like, yeah, it's fucked up.
And Soviet Russia rifle snipes you?
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole idea is like just put whatever you have as a timed exclusive, have that. You know, give the people the opportunity to get it for free. That's totally fine. And then when the event ends, just put it out there.
Yeah. I also think about it in the way that like game preservation as well. Cuz if this stuff goes away, then people that like to preserve games, like historians and that, there's like no access to it. You can't see what that content was, and MMOs run into that problem all the time. And,
oh yeah, I mean that's gonna be a huge issue in the future, no matter what.
Yeah, like maybe like not 10 years from now, but maybe 20, 30, who knows. Yeah.
Once hard drives start failing, and like all of our digital content's just gone with no way to get it back, it's gonna be a big issue. Because I still remember like when the batteries in my old SNES cartridges would go bad and like my save file would be gone.
Oh yeah.
Like that felt like a big issue then. Imagine if like your entire game library was just gone.
Yep.
That's way bigger.
It's vaporized. All like 899 games I have just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so much cheaper to buy things digitally.
It is. And also I don't have to leave the house. Oh.
Yeah. Because I think about like buying a physical version of something, like, you know, ordering it on Amazon or whatever, and I'm like, but I kind of want to play it now. And then I just buy the digital version and install it.
Yeah, the problem I have with like I still get physical stuff every now and then. The problem that I have with Blu-ray movies is that some of them require you to be online in order to load up the trailers. And I try skipping past that, but I can never skip past it. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's annoying. See, basically these days I buy Blu-rays because they're just as cheap as, you know, getting like a digital copy on its own, unless they're on sale somewhere. Like I got Kingsman 2 because it was like on Google Play for like $10. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll put credit towards that. Yeah, usually the Blu-ray is just as expensive as like a new digital copy. So I'll buy the Blu-ray, which also includes a digital code.
Yeah. Put
that code in and then just add the Blu-ray to my collection and never actually use it. Unless like for some reason I couldn't get the digital code input, like with Captain America, I think, when we tried to watch that recently. And then like I'll, you know, pull up Vudu on whatever streaming device we have and just watch it that way. But I still own the movie if I want to like give it to someone else to like watch, because, you know, it usually has the DVD version, the Blu-ray version, and the digital. So it's like no matter how someone wants to watch it, I'm covered. So I kind of like that. But with games, like, it really doesn't make a difference because it usually has to download the entire game onto the hard drive, whether you buy it digitally or physically. So you might as well just buy it digitally, save space, and you can usually find a better sale on the digital copy.
Yep. I actually made my first computer without any kind of drive in it other than a hard drive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I took mine out recently. I had one in there for the longest time.
Yeah. But
I wanted to add a fourth hard drive, and I ran out of SATA ports. So I took the drive out so I could put a hard drive in instead.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You got anything more to talk about on this topic, or?
No, it kind of morphed anyway. But really, just like adding things into your games that you can only get for a certain amount of time is scummy, and don't do it. Just have it be available to everyone, even if, you know, some people get it for free and some people have to pay for it. That's fine. At least everyone can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I think first person games have learned that kind of lesson with their DLC packs for maps. They would splinter their fan base, so there wasn't enough players in certain lobbies, and yeah, it could lead to a whole mess. Just give your content to everyone.
Yeah, I forget about that stuff with like, locking out of like multiplayer maps, because I remember with like, what is it, Halo 3 or something.
Well, Destiny 2, like you couldn't do a whole lot of stuff. Like they took away a ton of content from people. Because
but I'm talking about like with just like matchmaking. Yeah. Like I think it was Halo 3 or maybe 4, where it's like you go into the multiplayer and it's like you try to find a game and it'll say like requires this map.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't have that, you just can't join the game. Like it still shows up in the list, but you can't join it because you don't have that map.
Yeah.
And it's just really awkward.
Yeah. If you're gonna do limited content, do it right and cycle it.
Right.
That's our solution. You're welcome, game companies.
Yeah.
Justin, where you wanna tell the people where to find you?
I am all over the internet as Zero Score. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, I guess. Yeah, pretty much just Final Fantasy IX story play on Saturday mornings. Check that out when you get a chance, but I haven't been doing too much else. I finally got all of the stuff in to do a video I've been working on about the I'm saying the definitive top 10 Metroidvanias, because it's not just my opinion this time. But whenever you work with guest people, you have to wait on them to get their stuff in. So I finally got all of my guest people. I just have to actually record my part of it and put it all together. So that should be out in the near future. If you like Metroidvanias, it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I've got a few other ideas. I just haven't gotten around to them because I'm lazy and trying to find a house.
You can find me, your host Thomas, not on Twitter because I deactivated my Twitter.
In 30 days.
Yeah, I got 30 days. Like I'll probably log back in on Twitter. It's CSG Thomas, but we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I need a Twitter break. It's a lot of crazy people out there.
Yeah.
But you'll also find us all here at charshot.com. That's where all our videos, podcasts, content, #content lives. And you can email me, thomas@charshot.com. Until then, guys.
Oh, me and Lo, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but
you cut me off at like the perfect part too.
I know. Me and Lo did a quick shot on 20XX. I forgot that's something I played over the weekend. Yeah, nice. Showing off the 1.0 like official release version of the game, which I hadn't played yet, and the third playable character that was just added in. So that should be up probably by the time this video goes live. This podcast goes live. So just wanted to say that real quick while we're plugging things. But yeah. If you like 20XX, check that out because the new player is pretty cool and we had a lot of fun with that.
I need to check that out sometime. It sounds
it's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Keep going, right?
Keep recording.
Yep.
What news story do I want to start off with?
I assume probably not this tax levy one that I had pulled up. That's a little deep.
It's too much.
Probably to start with, yeah. Welcome to the news, tax levies.
Everyone's favorite discussion, tax levies.
Yeah. If you're not asleep yet, let's move on to boobs. Because like Soul Calibur or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is the transition idea. But no, let's not do that.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your host, Thomas, and hosted by Justin.
Hi, I'm here, too.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
I don't know either. Just stating a fact. I am also here.
Oh,
it just does. Got to keep it interesting.
Oh boy. All right. So yeah,
we're here. You make fun of me when all I say is hi. You make fun of me when I try to be creative. Like I just can't win.
You made me laugh. We're here to break down the news as of February 23rd, 2018.
Good job.
Thank you. We were deciding what kind of news item to go off with, and tax levies are our first topic for today.
I think we're actually starting with tax levies.
Unless you have a better idea.
I mean, that's fine. We can do tax levies.
We can get the boring thing out of the way first, and then we can.
Yeah. Anyone listening in your car right now, just maybe pull over because you'll probably fall asleep.
Okay, so article from IGN: Rhode Island representative has proposed to raise a tax on M-rated video games to fund mental health provisions in schools. GameIndustry.biz reports on Republican member of Rhode Island State House Robert Nordolilo has plans to increase tax on games with ratings M or higher by 10%. So we kind of need to talk about what's going on in America in order for this to actually make sense.
Wait, is this raising it like more, like 10% more?
Yes.
Or up to 10%?
It says by 10%.
Because that's extreme.
It is quite
currently like total sales tax, at least around here, is about like 8.5%.
Yeah, we got.
So if we would raise it on games, like possibly up to 18.5%.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's insane.
All right. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, we need to talk about what's happening on in America, to actually have this make sense.
In case you don't know,
which I'm pretty sure everyone that listens to the podcast knows what's going on. There was like a really violent shooting at a school recently, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida. 17 students lost their lives. There's been a whole movement with students and teachers like lobbying against, or not. I don't know if it's lobbying against, but the Florida state senator.
Basically a lot of let the American take over.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Basically a lot of the students at that school have been I guess campaigning and like, you know, acting out about gun control and things like that. And the political powers that be, both in Florida and the rest of the country, are trying to blame everything but guns. We're not going to, you know, take a stand here or anything, but that's essentially the breakdown of it from each side. And so they're saying we need to raise spending on mental health and also, you know, punish people who play violent video games because clearly that leads to more violent individuals and things like that, even though this article does clearly state that less than 20% of school shooters played violent video games. But, you know, this also was it was a Secret Service research that found this. So you'd think that, you know, they would believe their own Secret Service. But again, we're not taking stands here. And so essentially what they're trying to do is raise the tax on M-rated or above, I guess, video games in order to fund more mental health services, which inherently is not a bad thing. Like, we do need more mental health funding, but maybe they could take it from other sources that they've been just bolstering constantly, like, you know, the military, where all of the guns are. Not taking a stand here, but yeah. So they've already cut a lot of industries that would fund mental health research in the past, but now they're blaming mental health and video games and trying to use that to raise money for mental health awareness and, you know, rehabilitation and stuff. So how much do they really care about mental health?
Not at all, because President Donald Trump made that made it easier for people with issues to get weapons, right?
Yep.
What the
He
fuck?
got rid of which, again, to be clear, without taking a stand, I do understand the idea of, if you're going to allow guns, letting everyone have them, because it is a form of discrimination to say, oh, just because you have a mental illness, you aren't allowed the same right as everyone else. But I don't think, me personally, I don't think it should be a right to bear arms.
As a Canadian, I think it should be. I stand with you on that.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think we should take them away from people, but I don't think it should be an inherent American right. So in that regard, I don't think it should be discrimination to not allow someone with, you know, a criminal history or with mental illness or other, you know, issues they should be allowed to not have guns, because I don't think it should be a right for every American to own one. So my personal opinion is different from this. But again, I understand from a standpoint of lawmaking and discrimination why he would, make that ruling to allow mental people. Yeah. But it does kind of go counterproductive against this, where he's saying, hey, maybe we should help with, mental health at the expense of video games. It's ridiculous.
Video games has been a scapegoat.
Everything but the guns. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a scapegoat of this kind of stuff for decades now.
Yeah, is Jack Thompson still alive? Because I feel like he's probably going to come out of the woodworks.
All right, let me just Google his name again, because I feel like I feel like he's never retired. Like, even if he dies, his ghost is going to be here. Jack Thompson. Yeah, like, he was very adamant ever since like GTA 3.
Mm-hmm.
His quotes is like activist. Yeah,
I think it was the hot coffee mod in San Andreas that got him riled up.
That as well, yeah. Yeah, he's still around.
Okay, then I'm sure we'll hear from Jack Thompson soon about the issues with video game violence and whatnot. But this is really more just to raise awareness for everyone. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, M-rated games might get more expensive. And just like the outcry of like R-rated movies won't make money, so we have to, dumb everything down to make it PG-13. If this goes through, you can guarantee that a lot of games that would be M-rated will be, changed around to earn a T rating, and it's going to hurt the gaming industry. Like, we're not going to get games like The Last of Us anymore.
It's essentially censoring video games.
Yeah. We're becoming Australia. Congratulations, America. Australia got rid of their guns. They still have strict gaming regulations.
Yeah.
We have both.
I think we have like we have like a tax just for electronics if you buy an electronic, because it's supposed to go towards like green recycling or whatever. But that's just like a tax for people.
Here do that because of like tax breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
With green initiatives, they can, for one, they can talk about it, from a social standpoint, and it's a good way to raise awareness about a company, saying, hey, we have good green initiatives, you should buy from us. But also, tax incentives, all that stuff. Like, it benefits them to do, but it's not regulated really.
Yeah. This is fucked.
Yeah, I think the government should stay out of our video games.
Yeah, leave our video games alone.
Stay out of women's wombs and video games. That's where I'd take my stand.
I'll stand right with you, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, moving on from the tax levy for violent video games and M-rated games to Soul Calibur, a game that
the boobs. Ivy's back, baby.
Yeah, Ivy's back and she's in a great costume.
Yeah.
Very revealing.
She's gonna die so quickly in that thing.
It's always that joke, right, with Japanese armor for women. It's always like super powerful but doesn't cover anything.
Right. Stab, 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 stab. Like anywhere. Except the shoulder skull she has. That's protected.
Mm-hmm.
And her right arm is pretty well armored. That's about it.
Yeah. The last time we talked about Soul Calibur 6, we kind of just we all just nodded in agreement that Ivy's gonna be in this.
Oh yeah. She looks great though.
Yeah, she looks great.
And then also Zasalamel.
Thank you.
Who I guess is a little newer. He was from like Soul Calibur 3 and on. I don't really know him. But he seems cool. He's like kind of he reminds me of a Diablo 3 character. Like the angels in that.
Oh yeah.
And he has a scythe, which is unique. But I mean, let's be honest, Ivy's the real story here.
We're all here for Ivy.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's kind of crazy, like just from a graphical standpoint, because like the side of her costume is like stitches, basically, like it's like stitched the costume together, and you can like see where like some of the skin like folds over that because it's tight. It's like we've gotten so far graphically that they can create like skin folds in between fabric. It looks so realistic. It's crazy. I can't handle it. Games are too good.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of wish Ben was here to talk about this with us.
I know. We need his official Ivy thoughts.
Moving from boobs to no boobs, we've got Harvest Moon creators making a
Gross.
new game.
They're children.
They're making a new game called Little Dragons Cafe. It says it's coming late summer 2018 this year. Arxis Games. Sorry, go.
Which is soon.
Yeah, this is here.
Just be announced. Months. It's pretty soon.
Yeah. Latest project from Harvest Moon creator Yoshihiro Wada. Little Dragons Cafe will release blah 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 on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch. Synopsis of the game is the story opens with a twin brother and sister learning to cook, manage a small cafe under their mother's tutelage. All was peaceful and routine until one day when the twins discovered that their mother has fallen into a deep sleep and won't wake up. Is this Brothers, the sequel, like Brothers and Sisters? This feels very similar story wise.
I mean, this is a brother and a sister.
Yeah. And suddenly, a strange old man appears, informing them that they must raise a dragon in order to save her. Working together with three quirky...
Of course.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
Working together with three quirky cafe employees, the two siblings must figure out how to wrangle a dragon and manage the family business while finding a way to save their mother.
This is like such a CBS sitcom synopsis.
Oh no, mom's sleeping. Strange old man barges in. We must take care of this dragon.
The two siblings have to figure out how to wrangle a dragon and manage the family business while finding a way to save their mother. Coming to CBS this fall.
That's perfect. That's so perfect.
A guy, a girl, a dragon, and a pizza place.
Wow. Why aren't you like writing TV?
That's a good question.
So yeah, what do you think? The Harvest Moon guy coming up with dragon saving mother cafe management system.
Real quick, don't get me started on my my Charmin commercial pitch that me and Brooke talked about on the way home from work the other day.
Okay, now we have to know.
It's kind of long.
Okay,
but,
maybe you can tell me off air.
Yeah, we don't have time, but it's pretty good. I'll just say the words Prince Charmin. That's all you need to know right now. Okay. Anyway, this game seems cool. It like, I can't tell because remember there was a whole thing where like, Harvest Moon was originally developed by was it HAL Laboratories, I think?
Yeah.
And then they basically the people that made Harvest Moon went on to make Story of Seasons, and the developer, like the developing company of Harvest Moon, continued making Harvest Moon games, but they suck now. Like there was one that was it's actually supposed to be coming to Switch, I think, over the summer also, and I was like waiting on it because I wanted to know more about it. Then I found out that it was already on Steam and came out like last fall and got no press because it sucks.
Wow.
And Brooke had been waiting on this one because she loves Harvest Moon, and she's like, "Let me know when that new one's coming to the Switch. I want to play it." And so I told her, I was like, "It's already on PC and it sucks, so I'm not going to get it on Switch. But whenever they have the multiplayer for Stardew Valley, we can try that out." She's like, "Okay, that's fine." But this is the kind of game that, like, maybe would be a possible good like Harvest Moon replacement on Switch. Yeah. I don't know if it's from the actual like original Harvest Moon creator.
That's
because it seems like it might be like their Rune Factory. Because Rune Factory was also like it was from the guys that made Harvest Moon, like still owned by that developer, and it was like kind of a fantasy adventure with Harvest Moon elements. And so like that developer that's making Harvest Moon games could still make Rune Factory games, whereas like the Story of Seasons guys, they're making like quote unquote real Harvest Moon games under a new label. So maybe this is their version of Rune Factory now. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah.
It looks like the WADA is also the creator of Story of Seasons as well. So
okay,
there's some pedigree.
So yeah, this is probably their Rune Factory.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally okay with. Because it does say like on top of raising a dragon and managing the cafe, they'll also do like, growing crops, fishing, recipes, and taking on quests. So yeah. I guarantee this is Rune Factory for a new generation. and I'm on board with that. I didn't like Rune Factory as much as Harvest Moon, just because I felt like it didn't play super well. Like it was kind of slow. But if they update it for modern consoles, which it sounds like they are, I'd be cool with that. Like a fully 3D, like modern take on Rune Factory. Granted, there was a 3D Rune Factory on PS2, I think. But yeah, we don't know anything more, but it won't be too long, I assume.
Yeah, all we have is concept art. That's it.
Yeah, I'd say that the next Nintendo Direct, they'd probably announce something.
Yeah, if it's coming out this summer, definitely.
Right. Because E3 would almost be too late. That's in July.
Yeah.
Too late to like reveal it anyway.
Speaking of revealing things, we're revealing the fact that you have to buy your save slot in Metal Gear Survive.
Well, is anyone really going to want more than one save slot in Metal Gear Survive, though? Let's be honest.
I hope not. So yeah, at the time of the writing, the cost of 1,150 SV coins is $10, and I believe it costs us it costs us 1,000 SV coins to actually buy your second save slot.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Konami has done really scummy stuff in their past couple of games, like Metal Gear Solid 5 had some really crappy real currency stuff that you'd have to buy for your FOB, so people don't attack it all the time. Like, they're still at it. They're still Konami.
Yeah. That's like that was the problem. It's like I was willing to give them another chance. Because, you know, a lot of people were mad after the whole Kojima thing, and I get it. I wasn't super into Metal Gear, but like I understand that's a crappy thing to do. But also it seems like he's doing fine now, so maybe that was a good thing for him at least.
Yeah.
And then like they released that new Bomberman game, and it wasn't good, but like there was nothing wrong with it inherently. Like there wasn't, you know, crazy microtransactions. The costume unlocks and things were a little steep, but it was all in-game currency, so it was fine. And I mean, like they tried with that game. Like there was multiple updates after release, like free updates after release and stuff. You know, I felt like they really actually cared to craft a good game. It's just it wasn't built in a very solid foundation. And then they started working on this. And honestly, this is gonna sound controversial, but anything that they wanted to make in the Metal Gear franchise would have been scoffed at. Like no matter what. If they had just immediately tried to go in and make like Metal Gear Solid 6, people would have rioted. So I actually think this was a kind of a smart idea to like divorce themselves from Metal Gear Solid 5 and put out this like spin-off to say like, hey, we can still make games, like, you know, big games in this engine, give us a chance. But now they've already gone and screwed that up by, you know, getting bad press over it.
Yeah. If they wanted to come out with a game to cash in on the Metal Gear name and the Fox engine, this is probably their best bet.
Right.
It's just that their best bet is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good game by any means. I'm just saying this was about the only option they had as far as like keeping the Metal Gear franchise going, because they couldn't just make Metal Gear Solid 6 without Kojima. Immediately.
It's just disappointing in like the way, apparently from the way it plays, also from like these scummy like I can't remember, I don't know the term for it. It's in cash microtransactions, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're just being scummy all around with this, and it's kind of a little bit disappointing. I'm gonna read about it and see what's in that game before I get it. Because that's the smart thing to do.
I would not support something like this. Like, even if I cared about the game, I would not support something like this.
Yeah.
And I get that, like, there's, you know, hundreds of people probably that developed this game, and they didn't make these choices, and blah, blah, blah. Everyone always says that. But at the end of the day, like, they chose to work on this project. Like, I know they don't always have a choice, and, you know, you can't pick where you work. But you can speak out against bad practices and try to make change.
You just get fired, that's all. It's because
I guess. But then you get examples like, you know, Jared Petty, who like just left EA after all the Battlefront stuff and all that. And like he won't talk about them. Like he's not like speaking out about EA. And granted, part of that's because he still has stocks with them. But like he left the company to work on his own. and he's like, I'm not going to weigh in on EA. Like, it's not my place to do, but you know, there's a reason I left them, type thing.
I wonder if he's under contract or something that you can't talk bad about him or something.
No, I mean, he left of his own free will. I think he could weigh in as much as he wanted. He just doesn't feel right to do it because he, you know, owns stock with them and like does know inside stuff about them.
It's just he's probably got like friends there that work there and stuff. He doesn't want to screw them over.
But I mean, this is another thing. It's like, you know, you could leave. Like, if you have talent, you would get picked up somewhere else that's better. Yeah. Like, just accepting this infrastructure, the way that these things run, I mean, you're going to get backlash for it. Like, people are going to not buy your game if you built something knowing that it was scummy. Like, you have to accept that fact. It's not like there's really no defending that.
I haven't seen a lot of people talk about
the person, but I don't defend the action either.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people talking about this game, so I feel like it's kind of just gonna fall flat on its face.
Yeah. I think it was already actually pulled off Steam. It's still on pre-release there.
What?
Like, last I saw, it said like, you know, like pre-order now or whatever, even though it's supposed to be out.
Or maybe they just delayed the PC version because that's how.
Because I know like it came out on Steam and then like some people got it and then like it was gone.
Weird. That's weird. I'm checking right now because I want to see this.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. It was up on there.
It says add to cart for me, so it doesn't say.
Okay, that might have just been for like a day or something.
Maybe.
Because I noticed it. I think it was last night. I don't remember. It was sometime I went to play Final Fantasy 12 and like saw it on the homepage and it said like pre-purchased now.
Reviews mostly positive. 695 reviews.
Some people like it.
Yeah.
I don't think they like it as a Metal Gear game.
I click on the reviews and the first thing I see is just a page of downvotes. I'm like, oh yeah, mostly positive. Okay.
Well. Yeah, that's how Steam works.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Justin, are you afraid of ghosts?
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Well, then maybe this is the game for you. Ghostbusters.
I can't do it anymore. We'll get claimed.
Yeah, Ghostbusters World. You like Pokemon Go? Then this is that.
You like Pokemon Ghostbusters?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Walk around, capture ghosts. That's all I really know about this. I haven't seen the trailer.
It's pretty much Pokemon Go, from what I've heard. It's like they've created new ghosts and stuff that you go around and capture with your thing, but it's not made by Niantic. So it's like they've built their own system to basically make a Pokemon Go game, which seems counterintuitive, but
you gotta get some competition in there.
Yeah, if it helps, the trailer doesn't show anything.
Okay, great. Because I'm looking at it, and it's just people like dressed up as Ghostbusters doing the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a bunch of different ghost types. And you'll go around and like capture them in your little thing, and you can like battle other people with yours, I guess, which is a feature that Pokemon Go should have had probably a year or two ago.
Oh wow, that game came out 2 years ago.
At least, yeah.
Oh man, I'm old. Feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like I think it was like fall of 2015 or something like that.
Wow. Yeah. I'm probably not gonna fall for this one because I'm not a huge fan of that style of game, but it's super cool that Ghostbusters has this out there.
Yeah. I want to see more stuff like this. Like I said, I want to see a Harry Potter game like this.
Yeah.
We go around, do spells and different things, and yeah. But the AR aspect is always cool. I like those games. And this is supposed to be like, I guess they're putting some money behind this. Because it's supposed to be something to show off the Google AR kit. Like their first attempt to kind of like do like built-in AR in the phones. I think my phone can actually do it. Only certain ones are eligible for it, but I think mine is because it is a Google phone, so it makes sense.
Nice. Let's see. We were talking about PC release of Metal Gear. Let's talk about the PC release of Final Fantasy
15.
Yeah, so they have a PC demo released, and there is a Half-Life pack announced for it. And essentially,
well, you kind of buried the lead a little bit there. You got to build up to that. You got to build up to Half-Life 3, man. The demo is the entirety of Chapter 1, which is actually quite a bit of content because that's most of like the open world stuff.
Yeah.
Like you could pretty much run around in that world for hours and never move on to Chapter 2 if you wanted. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, Half-Life 3 confirmed, right? That's what we're calling this episode, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah, Half-Life 3 is confirmed. It is actually a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, it's been hiding inside Final Fantasy 15 this whole time.
So the Half-Life content here has you running around looking like Gordon Freeman, equipped with his trusty crowbar and everything, hazmat suit,
and glasses.
It looks ridiculous though, like the action shot of him like winding up the crowbar to hit the creature.
Dumb. But like so this crazy. I mean, this is a cool idea. Like
it is.
Imagine like, you know, if they do exclusive characters in Soul Calibur this time, like Gordon Freeman in
the PC
like
version.
Soul Calibur 6 on Steam. That kind of thing is so absurd. Yeah. It also implies that like he's only available in the Steam version, and that if you get it on Origin, you would have different purchase bonuses.
Oh, does it say what it is?
No, it doesn't.
EA specific pack.
But it just says if Origin is your digital store of choice, and you will be happy to know that more early purchase bonuses are coming to Origin, and more details about these will be coming soon. So I assume it'll be a different costume because, you know, that's not a Valve thing.
What would you like to see? Shepard?
It'd probably be Shepard, but also that's a gun. Does he have a sword?
He has an Omni blade.
Maybe that then.
Maybe. Because I can't think of anything like iconic from EA other than like the Mass Effect Shepard.
Yeah. Because I mean, I could see like a Shepard costume for Prompto because he's the gun shooter. But
maybe, yeah.
I feel like it's gonna have to be for Noctis because he's the main character.
Yeah, I can't think of anything for EA. They're not very iconic with their characters.
No, a car. Who's become a car? Or it could be a specific skin for the Regalia, maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe a hockey player, skate around the field with a hockey stick, whacking creatures.
There you go.
That's the only other thing I can think of.
Let's move on. Like, this is weird news, but like I have no attachment to Half-Life, so.
Speaking of, well, do you have an attachment to Nintendo?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nintendo news. So yeah, European regulator says that Nintendo's strict eShop refund policy is unlawful. Essentially, like, it's no news, but it's not really news to a lot of people, but Nintendo doesn't allow refunds on their eShop. So I believe this was made in one of the Scandinavian countries. I don't think it's Sweden. Let's see, what does it say here?
Norway.
So yeah, in Norway, they say that it's unlawful for their practices. I had the quote here and everything.
So the Consumer Rights Directive rules that customers in the European Union and European Economic Area have the right to withdraw from a purchase if distribution has yet to begin. So basically, until you get a game, you have the right to a refund.
Yeah. I'll just skip right to the end of it. So the council looked at 7 leading digital video game platforms and found that only 2, Origin and Steam, had adequate systems in place for refunding purchases. The other 4 platforms, Battle.net, Uplay, PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, had systems in place, but the return process for each weren't user-friendly and often required contacting customer support. So hopefully a little bit of pushback from the EU and some of the regulators there will make a little bit more user-friendly stuff for returns. Have some kind of ripple effect. I'm not sure if this will, because maybe they don't care about Norway. So
I mean, this is the entire EU.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Norway found it.
Okay.
But it's a European law, so it's like all over Europe. And there's a pretty big European footprint for Nintendo products right now.
Oh yeah, sure. So hopefully that.
I'm sure something will change, but I honestly never noticed it. Like anything digitally I get, I want, and it basically says that like withdraw from a purchase if distribution has yet to begin. So like that specific law would deal with like pre-orders.
Yeah.
And I think Nintendo actually lets you like download it in advance, whatever that's called. Like it doesn't wait until that time. It might actually, now that I think about it, because I think I bought Mario Odyssey a few days in advance, and it didn't actually unlock to download until like an hour before release or something.
Yeah. Yeah, this
looking at work on things that you just like buy off the store one day and like try to install and then play for an hour and you're like, I don't like it, like you can on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm in favor of like consumer rights on this one though.
I agree. I'm just saying like it's a pretty specific example. It shouldn't be that hard for them to change.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I haven't had an issue. I haven't had the need to refund or return anything on Nintendo yet, so
no, they have enough demos available. It's not really an issue.
Let's see. Call of Duty 2 directors leave Sledgehammer, the studio they founded. So large article on Kotaku, but essentially co-founders of Sledgehammer, the guys who made Call of Duty World War II and Advanced Warfare, Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield have left. They're working internal now with Activision. So who knows what their next project is going to be for Sledgehammer. Just a quick mention there.
It's interesting though, because like World War II just came out. Like the game they had probably a heavy input in just came out, and I think it did fairly well, right?
Yeah, it sold way more than Infinite Warfare, which it sold really, really well.
That's not terribly surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it makes me wonder if maybe there's some weird stuff going on with Call of Duty as a franchise in general, and they're like, no, we don't want to be a part of this anymore. Or if it's just like, hey, we found a better opportunity, so we're gonna go take that. But it's just like the timing, right after their game came out. It's like maybe they were waiting for that to release and then leave safely once it's shipped. But like they wanted to get out for a while.
Yeah, it's been almost like maybe 4 months now, so I don't know.
But I mean, it's DLC season, so they're probably wrapping up a bunch of that stuff, like their executive side of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, just kind of strange.
Yeah, I just like it's like any kind of titan in this industry. It's like this surely has to end at some point, right? Like Call of Duty has
they're not even like they just moved to Activision.
Yeah. I'm just
talking about an ending.
Oh no, I'm talking about like Call of Duty itself. It's like it's such a behemoth. It's like they got to be working on something else to try and like take it over once Call of Duty starts to dip. But who knows? I guess
they're going back to supposedly Black Ops 4 is the next one, back to modern day.
That's what everyone likes.
And they're making a movie. Usually when you make a movie out of a popular franchise, it's dead in the water. It's like, how can we milk some more money out of this thing? Well, I guess we'll make a movie out of it.
Yeah, don't tell World of Warcraft that. They're like 3 million. How many people are playing that now? Like, I think 3 million?
Warcraft had a movie.
I know, exactly. I don't know. Speaking of one franchise that ended, Fable Fortune. Or Fable, rather. There's a game. There's a game. It's back. Fable Fortune. It's leaving early access this week. I guess it's already left early access.
I mean, it's a card game, so is it really back?
It's just weird that like they canned the studio that was making a Fable game, and then now they're releasing a Fable game.
This has been out for a while, though. It was just in early access.
Yeah.
It was announced like 2 E3s ago or something.
It's just weird. I just miss Fable. I want a real good RPG Fable.
Agreed. I've never been into card collecting games anyway, much less a Fable one.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a real game too.
Pub Games was good, but it was good because you could get money to spend in Fable 2 once it came out.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bunch of mini games with that's like that you would get at a casino or something.
Oh,
cool. And our last news story for today, unless you want to stop me, is Remedy's next project aims for 2019, hinting at a new game, so not a sequel.
Have they ever done a sequel?
Yeah, Max Payne 2, Max Payne. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are the Max Payne guys. I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, so no, Max Payne
Everyone
3
does.
was Square Enix. I didn't really think about. I thought they were all Square Enix.
No. Everyone, like, it's been a while since Max Payne came out, so. I don't blame you. Also, they did a sequel to the writer. He writes things and things come true. Alan Wake. American Nightmare. It's a sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just
like,
wrong,
whatever.
man.
It's like, I don't know.
Fine.
It's like, whatever. I used to be
a
big fan of Remedy, and now they're kind of like on shaky waters. I want to see how they pull through.
Well, Quantum Break was just a rough game.
Yeah.
It was a Xbox exclusive, like a weird gimmicky thing. That was a launch title, so it wasn't quite where it needed to be anyway.
Yeah. But like, if you make a game every like 4 or 3 years, it's like you get a little worried. You know what I mean? Like you get worried of your baby. Like.
I mean, look at Naughty Dog. They do that, and all their stuff is great.
I don't know. They're Sony backs them though. They take care of them.
True.
Microsoft takes care of them, but like it's not. I don't feel like it's as tight as Naughty Dog. You know.
I don't feel like Microsoft really takes care of anyone.
Yeah. They took care of Rare all those years. What are you talking about?
Did they? I mean, Rare wasn't working on that much for a while.
Yeah.
They were getting relegated to those Kinect adventure games.
Yeah.
Friggin' Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, Rare isn't even Rare anymore. It's a totally
different
team.
It's not.
But yeah, like there you go. There's not really a whole lot of news other than it's called Project 7, P7.
Cinematic third-person shooter.
Yeah,
of course.
Just like their other games.
Yeah.
This is first official Remedy's single-player portion of free-to-play shooter of Crossfire 2. I don't even know what that means. That's weird.
A sequel to Crossfire? Crossfire.
But yeah, they're working on new IP. We'll see. We'll see it later. That's all the news.
What an anticlimactic ending. Remedy has some crap. I don't care. Whatever. That's the end.
Remedy's working on something. I like Remedy. Let's see what they have. Justin, do you have anything for me?
Like sexually?
Can I just turn off this Hangouts call real quick?
I don't know what you want from me.
Tell me where you can find your stuff.
I am at 0 score on parts of the internet. If you type in my name and I'm there, then cool. If not, let me know. Maybe I'll go there. I don't know. I've been kind of minimizing my online persona a little bit, tightening it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Doing some kegels and just getting that tight,
tight internet those jeans
personality.
Those
internet
jeans.
Yes, exactly. I said kegels. I think that's a lady exercise. Anyway, yeah, I'm not doing too much. Just, check out Final Fantasy IX Story Play on Saturday mornings. That's pretty much it. Let's move on.
And you can find me, your host, Thomas, on charshot.com. That's where you can find all of our videos, podcasts, all of our hashtag content. I'm taking a break from Twitter. I deactivated my account for a while. I'll see if I come back. Probably will, but I just need a break. And you can email me.
I just unfollowed a bunch of people instead.
Yeah, I did that too, and also deactivated. So if people are like really pissed off about that, I can not read their tweets.
Yeah. Anyone that I thought would be kind of mad about it, I just hid instead because I'm a sensitive boy and I don't like confrontation.
You can also email me, thomas@chartshot.com, if you want to send me an email. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Bye.
Bye.
Output.